If someone grew up in a cubicle, as Plato once suggested, they would only know the cubicle and not the world outside it, and they wouldn't view the cubicle as something geometric. We only know it's a cubicle because we live outside. Now the one inside the cubicle can't comprehend its measurements, cause measurements are models made of for and by observers relative to their position on the outside of the cubicle, to understand objectively so they can study further. If I grew up in a cubicle...
The checkerboard was highlighted for synchro investigation when it appeared in the fields at Westconnet Long Barrow in 2007 and became, in my mind, a pyramid Stargate glyph. The design was connected to the similarly checkered Freemasonic tracing boards, themselves being representations of Giza and thus Solomon's Temple. The visual and symbolic affinity with Da Vinci's Last Supper was also shown, with Jesus as triangular pyramid resonator. Just before leaving for the life-creating alien pyramids of Mars, the governor jumps into a stylized cab with roboticized cabbie, complete with his checkered hat motif.
What's wrong?
I just had a terrible thought. What if this is a dream?
The checkerboard hallway bleeds through from the crops into film in Stargate Schwarzenegger vehicle Terminator 2 as our mercurial time-traveling man Robert Patrick rises out of the Stargate symbol as if penetrating through the vortex of another dimension into our reality. The super-advanced technological entity, the T-1000, also hijacks a helicopter.
Get out.
I hate the weird ones.
Back in the 80s Terminator, Conan Christ Resonator Schwarzenegger can be seen chasing Bean and Sarah Connor in his white and black through a parking lot, which synchronistically entrains with our Westconnet hallway glyph and the Last Supper painting.
From 21 to 27.
That's the year 2027.
That's right. And I was assigned to
This is
recon
fucking
the
great.
last 2 years under John Connor.
A pyramid is discovered in Alien vs. Predator under the ice near Antarctica with the help of the VLA radio antenna, which we will see again in this investigation. Our mountaineer heroine is picked up by a Weyland-Yutani helicopter as the film cuts directly to a Mexican pyramid. The circular Weyland-Yutani logo reveals a Czech design, and Weyland himself turns out to be our already pyramid-resonant android Lance Henriksen. The queen alien connected to the beehive by Paxton is chained deep within the bowels of this pyramid and forced to lay eggs for the reptilian predator hunters, now synchronistically connecting the beehive alien queen to the pyramid as well.
It's like finding Moses' DVD collection.
Probable Moses/Aaron Pharaoh Akhenaten gets a rather silly reference here inside our alien pyramid, fitting as the chief architect liked to portray himself and his kin with distorted, elongated limbs and heads, which I view as an attempt at dramatic magic to become like his concept of the gods, the popular culture grey-type alien. Pharaoh Crowley continued the tradition of associating creepy cranium critters as higher consciousness denizens. In this regard, it is fitting to take a closer look at Giger's original biomechanical paintings for the alien xenomorph, with its large insect eyes. Seeing big reptilians, insects, and snakes as gods is nothing new, and shamans on psychedelics regularly call the teacher gods such. Jeremy Narby floated the idea that this was all stemming from the drug opening communication with the coiled serpent-shaped DNA. Could the pyramid-building gods like Thoth Hermes be intimately connected to entheogens, the wings and snakes of the winged orb and caduceus being DNA and kundalini used in creating these structures by a different kind of human mind, themes also present in the Americas, in our Thoth resonant winged serpent Quetzalcoatl. The opening of the original Predator film, with Martian pyramid lifebringer Schwarzenegger, sees an object fall towards Earth containing the DNA representing alien, resembling the relatable concepts of panspermia, the benben, and the Kaaba stone. Entering the feature out of our ubiquitous helicopter, the Stargate King. The following exchange contains a reference to the helicopter as armored taxi, a subject which will again be elaborated on shortly.
notice something else, Major. This was no ordinary army taxi. It looks more like a surveillance.
A recent popular culture reference to our Atlantean Christ Schwarzenegger as United States President.
Mr. President.
Yeah, that is me.
Our next feature is brought to you by the Stargate Arch surrounding our pyramid-shaped mountain or paramount. This would tie in with Noah's cuboid ark being related to the Pyramid K2 theme and the Rainbow Arch. Fire in the Sky tells the alleged true story of the abduction of Travis Walton by those bug-eyed grey buggers. Travis's friend is our checkerboard hallway mercurial Stargate man, Robert Patrick. A telling sync contains a praying Jesus looming directly behind the T-1000 and distorted higher consciousness representing grey alien, abductee witness.
We've been telling you the truth since the beginning.
Our second Oliver Stone feature, World Trade Center, tells the equivalent symbolic Christ consciousness Stargate ritual story yet again, as firefighters trapped under the pyramids see none other than Da Vinci's triangular pyramid man, Jesus. The World Trade Center and the pyramids are again synchronistically connected as the paramount in the Stargate dissolves to reveal the twin pyramids of the New York skyline in this same film's trailer. The poster imitates visually the three windows in the Last Supper, with the middle window highlighted by radiating light, fitting as our solar Jesus aligns with this same central element. Yet another encoded message extractable here and perfectly related to the pyramid theme is the symbol for pi, as the Great Pyramid encodes this mathematically through the relationship of its height to its perimeter length. In his book Thoth, Ralph Ellis floats the idea that Solomon's Temple and Stonehenge also mathematically and visually encode pi, and further in K2 points out that the second pyramid decodes as a perfect 3-4-5 Pythagorean right triangle. The following diagram is given to show the mathematical symmetry between the two pyramids, the circle being the greater and the square being the second pyramid. As this shape fits exactly the checkerboard hallway circle, we have another pyramid correlation, all fitting very neatly together with 9/11 and the Jesus Stargate events. Remember that in Checker Chariots, Giza, the Last Supper, 9/11, and this particular crop circle are all shown to be symbolic equivalents, depicting contact with higher intelligence or the opening of the Stargate of cosmic illumination.
It starts out with the question, how much of it is real? The skepticism sets in and lessens your appeal. Next you study conspiracy, develop some theories, and become extra wary of all your previous learned material. Your tolerance for stupidity degrades. Most your friends seem to be trapped in the maze. You narrow your associates down to the few you can stand, and even they sometimes wonder what's going on in that head of yours. Study East and Western philosophy, psychology, physics. You think a lot more and start to question existence. You wonder about your nervous system's limits. You tamper with reality maps and then ask hallucinogenic induced, who am I? What am I?